Welcome back to a special edition of the Local Pitch. Today we're talking about something brand new in the Memphis soccer landscape, something we introduced to you a while ago, Memphis FC and their home opener in USL League 2. Before we jump in, a quick shout out and thank you to Memphis FC for allowing both myself and Fozzie as members of the media team. We know that we are in good company with sports media giants like Lawrence Dockery of the 901 Soccer Podcast, high school reporter John Varlas of the Daily Memphian, and the man and legend himself, Mr. Tim Van Horn, who I believe will be the voice of Memphis FC for the digital broadcasting of many of their matches through USL 2's Sports Engine platform. This is an opportunity that we both don't take lightly, and we're excited to bring coverage of another level of the game right here in our city. Now, if you followed Memphis soccer for any amount of time, the name Memphis FC isn't exactly new. The club has history in this city, both on the youth and amateur side. And now it's back in a new form competing in USL League 2. So let's talk about our first experience, or actually my first experience, covering the club. This go round, I covered the home opener. Fozzie was actually pitch side for the second home game against Red River SC this past Saturday. Now, the first thing that stood out wasn't even the game itself, it was the atmosphere. Before kickoff, Mike Rose Soccer Complex was already buzzing. You look around, youth soccer tryouts were happening around the complex. Kids were playing in the fan zone. Parents were grabbing food and trying out the new Memphis FC beer that can be found at the stadium, and sponsors such as Huey's. And fans were checking out everything Memphis FC had to offer, including the club's first rally towel, which I actually have in hand right now. There were Memphis FC jerseys everywhere. Personally, I'm digging the blue one. I just have to wait for it to go on sale. But there were also people wearing jerseys from clubs and national teams all over the world. To me, that's a sign of something important. Not only the World Cup is coming, but the soccer community in Memphis showed up. And for a Thursday night home opener, a reported crowd of nearly 1,500 people is a solid start. Now, the final score won't be the one Memphis FC wanted. Louisiana Krewe came away with a 5-2 victory and improved at this time to 3-1 on the season. But there are some important layers to this result. Remember, this Memphis FC group is brand new. Their first ever match was just a couple weeks ago, a 1-0 loss to the same Louisiana Krewe down in Louisiana. And one of the major talking points after that opener was the lack of chemistry and limited training time together. This isn't a professional team training together year-round. This is a collection of talented players from different colleges, different backgrounds, different countries, different parts of the Mid-South, trying to become a team in a very short amount of time. If there was one bright spot on the field for Memphis FC, it was Memphis product Miller Lashley. Lashley scored not only the first goal in this new chapter of Memphis FC history, but he added a second later in the match that finished with a brace. That second goal was a beautiful cross or corner kick, I'm not really sure, but Lashley was able to just jump up above everybody else, get his head on it, and just put it right in the back of the net. And honestly, you couldn't script it much better. You got a local player, you got a University of Memphis product, the first goal in the club's modern era. Those are the kinds of moments that help establish an identity for a new team and sort of help create a face of the club right now. Now, one thing that became clear throughout the evening was that the Krewe found success attacking Memphis's right side of the defense. It just felt like wave after wave during the first half, the beginning of the second half. LA kept finding opportunities down that channel, through balls, crosses, things that forced goalkeeper Charles Caraglito, into multiple saves just to keep the game level. In fact, for long stretches of the first half, to me, it looked like he was the one that was keeping Memphis alive. Technically, it was hard to kind of ignore that right side of the defense had been exposed repeatedly throughout the night. Again, that's just one of those things that comes with chemistry, communication, just simply spending more time together as a unit. One player who caught my attention was Scott Cheevers. At the beginning of the match, what I saw was he constantly organizing the back line, directing traffic, pointing, communicating with teammates, especially on that defensive side. After the match, Coach Daniel Ridenour spoke highly of Cheevers, and it's easy to see why. For a new team, leadership matters, and he is someone that the coaching staff, I believe, is going to be counting on, especially when you're trying to build cohesion on the fly. After the game, Coach Daniel Ridenour pointed to a critical moment in the game. Memphis had fought back. Going into halftime, it was level at 1 goal apiece. Then all of a sudden, Louisiana Krewe hit a late first half equalizer that could just completely shifted the momentum. According to Coach Rittenauer, the team came out flat, in the second half and just never fully recovered despite Lashley's second goal, bringing the score back to 3-2. He also emphasized something important. Youthful mistakes happen. But even at this level, those mistakes are going to get punished. That's part of the growth process for a new club. Honestly, another big takeaway wasn't the scoreline. It was actually the performance of the crowd. Even when Memphis FC fell behind, even when Louisiana Krewe was stretching the lead, people stayed. The lower section of the stands remained packed. Fans stayed all along the rails, on the patio, and a large portion of the crowd actually stuck around until the final whistle. And so that's not something you can manufacture. People are hungry for soccer in Memphis. We've seen it with youth soccer. We're seeing it with an increase in high school soccer. We've seen it with Memphis 901 FC, and now we're seeing it with Memphis FC. In the end, the result wasn't what they wanted, what the club wanted, but this is only the beginning. There's talent on the roster. There's leadership on the coaching staff. There's support from the community. Perhaps most importantly, there's a chance to build something uniquely Memphis. So we will continue to cover Memphis FC throughout the season right here on the local pitch. Be sure to follow us across social media. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and share the show with someone who loves local soccer. These special segments may not always be our most downloadable episodes, but they're some of the most important because it helps tell the story or the stories that often don't get told elsewhere. So for Fozzie, this is Harris. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you back at your local pitch.